Hello and welcome to Yarn ChickHen, Vlogmas Day 7 with Mrs. T and friends. I'm Mrs. T and behind the camera is Mr. T. And I thought I'd start off today with a little bit of a roundup. But of course the first roundup is going to be after we do the word of the day. And today, Mr. T, would you like to say the word of the day and give an explanation, please, with all your Scottishness?
Today's word of the day, today's Scottish word of the day even, is braw. It's a wonderful word. It means good or beautiful, fine, anything. You can start off by saying, it's a braw day. Today it's a beautiful day. It's a braw morning. You're wearing a braw hoodie. You've got an excellent hoodie on. Beautiful hoodie, handsome. You're looking awfully braw. You're looking very handsome. So there we go. Today's word of the day is braw.
And seeing as it's the 7th day, I thought I'd do a little bit of a roundup so that you can remember down memory lane what all the Scottish words so far that you've been learning. The first one was hen, because it had to do with my name. Yarn ChickHen, which is another little bit of a review for any of the new viewers. In America, a lot of people call a woman chick. You know, usually younger people will call each other chick. But sometimes you get generational things and it grows up with you and you'll still call this chick. This chick I knew, she was so funny. That's the kind of stuff you say. And then in Scotland, what do you say, Mr. T?
Hen.
That's it, just hen. But they might say, look at those hens over there. I know them, you know, that kind of thing.
You would say, what are you doing, hen? Good morning, hen. How's it going, hen?
So they call hen. And then, of course, there's a thing in knitting and crochet and possibly other yarn-related crafts that they call yarn chickens. So in the 50s, I think they used to play chicken with cars. So what they would do is they would drive at each other at ridiculous speeds, and the first person to turn off so they don't collide was the chicken. A silly game, very dangerous, but one that was done nonetheless. And I'm sure sometimes neither one of them were chicken, but they had great crashes and who knows. But that's by the by. So we have started in a yarning world, whatever yarn crafts you're doing, started using yarn chicken. So basically what yarn chicken is you're using yarn, you're using up your stash, say, and you've got 3 balls of wool and you think that'll be enough to do a scarf. Then you start getting towards the end and you start thinking, uh-oh, I might not have enough yarn. I'm on my last ball of yarn. And I'm running out of yarn and I still have 3 more rows to do. So you keep going until you run out. Sometimes you'll run out before the end of the pattern or the sequence you're doing. And sometimes you'll actually just have enough. And sometimes you'll have a lot more than you think you do. But you're still playing yarn chicken regardless of you winning, you're coming out even, or you coming out ahead. And they call it yarn chicken. So, does that make sense, Mr. T?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out that we also used to have a game of chicken where you would run in front of a train. And I know they still do that today, the kids, which is a bit silly, but yay, that's our chicken.
Wow. Okay. So, I think I like yarn chicken better.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, even if you lose yarn chicken, you don't lose any fingers. Holy cow.
Or
Jesus.
your head.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Well, okay. I didn't expect that one. I think you've been saving that one up to shock me. So, so that's what yarn chicken is. But hen and chick. So I put chick and hen. So it's ChickHen, yarn ChickHen, yarn chicken. And so that was the first word that we didn't actually say was going to be a Scottish word of the day, but it turned out that when I went back through the videos, I thought, yeah, that's a Scottish word of the day, even though we didn't point it out as one. That's what it is, because I live in Scotland. My husband's Scottish, and so, that's the difference for why we're having Scottish words of the day. So the second one we introduced was we, because I was talking about the wool I was using for the crochet along Advent I've been doing, which I'll get to that in a minute. I'll circuit back to that. And the name of the yarn was Wee County Yarns. So what was we again, Mr. T?
Small or little.
Can you give us an example?
Yes, that's a wee ball of yarn you've got.
Excellent. Okay.
I'd just like to say that in Scotland we do have more words than just wee for small. In Orkney, for example, it is beady. And in Shetland, the islands which are even further away off the north of Scotland, it is peerie.
Thank you. All right. And so then the next word that we introduced, and I have to say most of these words were introduced the first day because I was explaining the Scottishness of this channel, is jumper. And jumper is the word they use in Scotland and the rest of the UK, I'm fairly certain, probably Ireland and Northern Ireland. Jumper is for a pullover sweater, a sweater that you pull over. It's a pullover sweater. This, what I'm wearing now, is a cardigan, because it's a cardigan. It's not a jumper. Although there could possibly be people that refer to it as a jumper. For the most part, it's a pullover sweater. And I guess there's really not any point in you saying it. And I mean, it's just you saying jumper.
Jumper.
Put your jumper on. Okay, and then the next word of the day that we had, which was actually introduced as a word of the day, was shuggle. And what did shuggle mean again, Mr. T?
Shuggle is basically give something a little shake. Give it a wee shake. You can see Mrs. T there having a wee shuggle on her chair.
And then the next word of the day we had was manky.
Manky. Something is horrible, disgusting, smelly. It's manky.
And then we come back to today's word of the day, which was
braw.
So
totally not manky. Something is braw.
Total
what a braw
opposite.
Night today.
Yeah, it's the total opposite.
That's an affy braw cardigan you've got on, Hen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. T. So back to circling back to the Advent calendar. So a lot of people don't actually know what an Advent calendar is. It is becoming a little bit more popular in America than what it used to be. But an Advent calendar is usually, it used to be the basic thing was a calendar. And in the UK, and I think a lot of European places that do it, the numbers are all mixed up. So half of the fun is searching for day 1 and then searching for day 2 and so on and so forth. So it's not sequential, it doesn't go sequential. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all over the place. The 24 days. Some people do 25 days. They do do Christmas Day. And so you open it, and it used to be a basic calendar paper, and you open the door and it'd have a little Christmas saying or maybe a part of a Christmas song. And then it'd have like maybe a wreath or a gingerbread man picture on the inside of the door. And you'd open it up. Those were the basic ones. Then they started chocolate companies started making chocolate ones. So then when you open it, there's a bit of chocolate behind each door. Then they started making some with toys and things like that. And now you can get Advent calendars with yarn in them, crochet hooks, knitting needles. You can get them with diamond rings, earrings, that kind of thing, depending on your budget. I mean, they have Advent calendars for pretty much anything. But basically, for me, the fun of an Advent calendar is searching for the number and not having sequential. But for some reason, a lot of the ones in America, they've taken the Advent calendar and they actually put it in order. So it's still a surprise when you open the door, but you know right where number 2 is because it's right next to number 1. So I think that takes a bit of the fun out, but I'm sure it's still fun if you're in America and you're opening up a yarn advent calendar with wool in it. So what I'm actually doing is a not yarn advent, pardon me, a knit along advent. So in this case, every day, instead of actually opening a door, it's a virtual. I open up my email, I go in, and I find the next set of instructions for the pattern I'm working on. They do tell you at the very last minute what the pattern was going to be, which was a small jumper for a 1/12 scale or 1/6 scale doll. And they have, all the things that you need, materials and stuff like that you'll need for it. And so every day. So that's the Advent. The Advent is the slow release, opening your virtual email doors to to unlock the parts of the pattern. Now, they didn't do it all mixed up and higgly-piggly because you need to know what you're knitting in order. So it's not quite the same thing, but it's a bit of a take on the traditional Advent calendar. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing an Advent knit-along, and a lot of people call them K-A-L, knit-along, knit-along. If they do crochet alongs, it's usually C-A-L, crochet along, crochet along. So that's the basic thing. Other people, they'll call things other things because they have advent calendars for lots of different things. And a lot of these people do blankets and all sorts of things. I'm sure if you watch a lot of the other yarn channels, you'll see a lot of people do knit alongs and crochet alongs and that sort of thing. But this one just happens to be for Christmas, so it's an Advent knit along. So that's a little explaining of that because I know some people were a little bit, what's an Advent knit along? What does that mean? So I thought I'd give it a little bit of explanation. Pardon me. And I still have that cold, so I'm still a bit congested, so I do apologize for the grumbly and the sounding like I've got a head full of snot. So, and then one of the reasons why I decided to start a channel is because I like many things. I like crocheting, I like knitting, I like loom knitting, I like a lot of things. I like making teeny tiny things, like maybe teeny tiny shoes for dolls and different things like that. So I thought I'd start a channel so I could find like-minded people because most of the people I know don't do anything. They don't really have a hobby. The three hobbyists that I know, 2 of them are Lego hobbyists, and they love to do Legos, and they've got all the kind of Legos you could think of, and they build them, and it's just amazing the things that they've built with Legos. And then I have another one that he does a lot of work with soldering, so he will build a lot of metal work and crafts like that, and he uses the soldering to hold everything together. And it's fantastic. And he does a fantastic job, some of these things. If I can borrow some pictures of his, I might show you some of the pictures of the things that he does. So I don't really have a lot of people that are interested in what I'm interested in. I do go to a crochet club, and they all have like minds as far as crocheting and that sort of thing. But we only meet once every 2 weeks. And sometimes I can't make it on the day, but I can make it the previous day or the previous Saturday or the following Saturday. And so sometimes I completely miss out. And so sometimes, I miss out on the yarn talk and that sort of thing. So I thought, well, if I do a channel, I might be just talking to myself, but maybe people in the comments can talk back to me in that sense, and we can have more fun discussing things and that sort of thing. And plus, I think it'll also give me a little bit more drive to finish all the projects I've started, all the projects, the lists and lists and lists of projects that I have written that I'm going to do and haven't started yet. I thought it might give me some accountability to finish the ones I've started and start the ones I want to start, because and I'm sure a lot of people are like this, but I've got so many things I want to start and just haven't done it. So maybe this will give me a bit of a push to do that. So that's why I started this channel. My husband has been wanting me to start this channel for a long time. Long time. So he's quite happy to help me, are you not?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's why we started the channel. I did kind of cover this on the first day, but I was keeping things short and sweet, so I didn't babble on like I feel like I'm doing right now. So I'm going to stop and go on to the next subject. And oh, that's something else I wanted to say. So when I did my knitting needle review, I kept saying bend, bend, but what I actually meant was all of the needles are flexible. They flex when you use them, and then they go back to how they're supposed to be. So they don't bend and stay bent. And I kept using the word bend, but I shouldn't have used that. I should have said they're flexible. So they have a bit of flexibility to them. I'm sure if you have a vice grip on them or something, you probably could bend them. But for the most part, if you have your nice relaxed, which most knitters should have a relaxed um, grip on their needles, because, you know, it's a hobby for enjoyment, not a hobby to tense you up. You'll feel the flexibility and you shouldn't have any problems bending it. If you feel like you're bending your needles, regardless of the size, you probably need to, you know, relax yourself a little, you know, relax your shoulders, relax yourself a little bit because you're knitting a bit too tensely. So, and crochet is the same thing. You don't want to crochet too tensely. So I just wanted to correct that they are flexible needles. All three sets that I showed you, they're all flexible needles. So, you know, in the sense that they do bend a little, but they flex back. So I just wanted to make that clear because that just made it sound like I was bending the needles up when I was using them. But they're just flexible. And I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. That's our recap. I'm very happy for all the people that have subscribed. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate if you could think about subscribing because it is free. There's no charge to subscribe, but you will at least be able to find my channel a little bit easier and get notifications, especially if you click the notification bell. You'll get notifications when I release a new video, which I plan on releasing videos to the end of the month, actually. I might even go so far as the 1st of January, but definitely up to Hogmanay. And what else was I going to say? Oh, and so make sure that you either like or you comment or you both, because the liking shows that you're actually interacting with my channel. So if you click the like button, even if you don't really want to make a comment, I'd really, really appreciate that too. I mean, it's very important every video that you decide you want to watch that you click the like button, at least if you don't want to comment, because it shows interaction. Otherwise, it's, you know, you could have the thing on for background for all YouTube knows and you're not actually even watching it. So if you could please like and or comment, or at least like every day, I'd really appreciate you, because that is what will help my channel, and I can reach more people with the same kind of interests that I have, and obviously you, because you're watching right now me babble on like a moron. But hey, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. I'll stop talking now. Is there anything else that you need to say, Mr. T? Because I know you might have some roundup bits yourself.
Just to say, I will put a little montage at the end of the video showing the different types of needles that you're using, as well as the little swatches that you made and the progress you got to. I will also include a couple of little bloopers that occurred during the week.
There's no bloopers. This is perfect. I do everything first take.
I wasn't necessarily meaning you.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, you messed up a lot. Yeah, you really need to stick with, you know, paying attention to what you're doing and not babbling stuff, that kind of thing. anyway, so thank you very much for watching. And if you've been with us the first 7 days, yeah, thanks for staying with us. Hopefully I'll just get better and better, and let's just hope tomorrow I'm not babbling quite so much. I probably won't be, because I'll be back to work, and I'll try to be pardon me, try to be as precise and a little bit shorter winded, because we'll have to get those uploaded and everything. Although I think we're still a day behind.
Yes, we will be.
So we're still a day behind. So today is the 7th day, but you won't see this until tomorrow, which will be the 8th of December. But you know, don't worry, don't fret. It's 2025 Vlogmas with Yarn Chicken and with Mrs. T, which is me, Mr. T, which is behind the camera, and us, all of us, the friends. We're all the friends. So thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.